Hi everyone. Well, I've been following this a little bit, the starvation in Syria, in Damascus, and this is a really tragic report because they have food. The UN wants to deliver food, and the militants, the rebels who the US supports, won't let it in. So listen to this. This is from Global News Archive, and I'm going to subscribe to them right now. Watch.
In Syria, foreign-backed militants have prevented the delivery of humanitarian aid to the Al Yarmouk refugee camp in Damascus. The insurgents opened fire on a convoy of UN vehicles carrying tons of food supplies to civilians besieged inside the camp. In a related incident earlier this month, militants prevented elderly and sick civilians seeking medical treatment from leaving the Yarmouk camp. Many refugees have died in the camp due to food and medicine shortages. Over 130,000 people have been killed in the nearly 3-year-long Syria conflict. Millions more have been forced to flee their homes. The UN says the country is facing the worst humanitarian crisis in the world.
Worst humanitarian crisis in the world, and that is the area where Bandar is sending and recruiting fighters and sending money and weapons, and they want Sharia law all over the world. And look at this. 15 Palestinians killed by starvation in Yarmouk refugee camp. And if you look up starvation in Damascus or starvation in Yarmouk refugee camp, it's horrific. So here they have killed a lion from the Damascus zoo for food. They're desperate. And if food comes in, the rebels won't let it through. So actually babies and kids, old people, everyone are starving. See this. Look at this baby here. Look at this arm. She died. Look at this man. I mean, this is just unbelievable. And a lion. Well, it seems like there's not much reporting about this in the world, but it's what's happening. Pretty tragic. So let's not forget them, and also the our conditioning about Palestinians. I mean, even other Muslims are not helping them, and they're Muslims. People are eating cats. They even found a picture of a cat eating a human because the cat is starving also. Let's just check this out. This is NBC News, a blog. So we really have to be grateful for all of our blessings and at least say prayers for these people who are suffering so much. And curry. Alright, file not found. Well, you can look it up yourselves, and starvation deaths plague Syrian camp. And just think, 3-year-old civil war. It just started out as protests and turns into a humongous civil war with all the weapons they could ever want.
The images are shocking. Young children, emaciated, dying of hunger. They were taken in a neighborhood south of Damascus called Yarmouk, where rebels are fighting the Assad regime. We reached a 26-year-old relief worker inside Yarmouk who says tens of thousands of people there are virtually cut off from the outside world, suffering a slow death by starvation.
Every day we have a child who died because of no food. Today we have two girls, one 25 days, another one was just 4 years.
You're saying today there was a girl who was 25 days old who died, and another was 4 years old. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, exactly. Yesterday we have 11 people who died because we don't have any food.
He told us more than 80 people have starved to death in Yarmouk since the beginning of the year, most of them children. In recent days, UN aid has trickled in, but it's not nearly enough. People are eating anything they can find. We've seen some YouTube videos where people are cooking cactus. Is that also true?
Yes, some people ate cats, and it's terrible.
He says just searching for grass to eat can be fatal.
Yesterday, a young person was dead by shooting while he was just collecting the grass.
You're saying that someone was killed by a sniper?
Yes.
Is it fair to say that if aid does not come soon, that a large number of people will begin to die?
Hundreds of people maybe die after 1 week or 2 weeks.
Fearing for his safety, the aid worker asked us not to use his real name. And while we cannot independently verify his account, we have reached Red Crescent workers inside Yarmouk who corroborate his story. It is also in line with YouTube videos sent out by Palestinian activists. This man says, "My mother died yesterday of dehydration and starvation. No one is paying any attention to us." This woman pleads, young and old, they don't even have water to drink. Please just open up the road.
Nobody can go out. If you try, you will killed.
What is your greatest fear now?
Maybe the people can eat each other. I don't know yet. I don't know.
You're saying the situation is so desperate that you can actually imagine that people might start eating each other.
I don't know.
Asked what is needed most in Yarmouk, he said, save the children. Maybe send them out of Syria. Just save the children. Ann Curry, NBC News, New York.